Hey, what's up? Dixie T here. And, I wanted to do this video um, a good long while, and Drama MC did it first. Um, the whole You Can't Wrestle Rant. If you haven't seen this video, I will put a link up to it because that video pretty much says what I'm going to be talking about today. The whole hatred that is John Cena, I'm getting, it's just getting really sad and pathetic that people are still clinging over this whole "you can't wrestle" thing. Let's look at this thing. John Cena, when the whole hatred began, started around 2005. Around August '05 when SummerSlam came to DC. I think it was just Jericho versus John Cena for the WWE title, and it was just so, half DC for John Cena, half for John Cena, half for John Cena, half for Chris Jericho. Then it started to become, Cena sucks, all the stuff came around when Kurt Angle couldn't do anything. Right around this time, about 2005, Triple H was mocking, you can't do anything because you're not good enough heel. Well, no, to Kurt Angle. I think he said that. I think it was, maybe if I haven't said it, if he didn't say it, and I'm misquoting him or putting him in a bad context, a bad light, I apologize. But it was that's where his intent, saying that he couldn't get heel heat. Kurt Angle did. I honestly think Kurt Angle did everything. I think he overestimated that. I mean, Kurt Angle really went above and beyond to get heat so much it was just comical. And it's not lack of trying, but I think John Cena really had this. People really, really hated him, and I think personally they could have done a double turn, have John Cena turn heel. I think Cena should have turned heel long ago to really quell this. But I really think it would have been nice. But I think the ship has sailed on that. But anyway, he was getting hated, and then next he lost the title to Edge, which Edge was pretty much a bona fide heel at this point. Got cheers like he, it was one of the biggest things ever. Remember that New Year's Revolution 2006, he won the WWE title, and oh my God, Edge was like, he arrived, man. It was like, wow. I remember, I was one of the guys. I was like surprised, I didn't think that was a legitimately shocking moment when Edge won the Money in the Bank. That whole thing when he cashed it in, he beat John Cena. Personally, I would have had some other things happen, but no one wants to hear that. But anyway, when John Cena lost the title, he came back, won against he won the Royal Rumble, riding a spaceship, and he won the World WWE title again. Then he faced Triple H, and oh boy. That WrestleMania 2006, WrestleMania, I mean, the boos, cheers, everything, got a little, let's see how much time I got, 4 minutes, 6 minutes left, but I'm going to speed this up, but the guy really had, was both cheers and boos. And I really, by around that time, I got really sick of the whole hatred thing. I mean, it just got him really a fever pitch back in '06. I mean, right up there with Total Non-Stop Action or John Cena hate. It was something that everyone just ran around saying, this guy is the reason why pro wrestling sucks, and this guy, John Cena, is the only reason why pro wrestling the way it is, which is complete and utter bullshit. I mean, anyway, I think it got worse. It sobered down. Yeah, he kept winning, and then he went out saying, you with him, you're not. And somehow, some way, he kept winning, and then he lost the title to RVD. RVD had a lukewarm thing, then he had weed and busted himself and screwed himself in the title, and Edge won. Edge defeated Cena in his hometown, even though his hometown started to boo him, which I think they should have just. I think that should have been a notification to WWE saying, you know what, maybe we should think about turning him heel. Maybe, maybe, but no, they didn't. And they kept going on, and then somehow, some way, Cena faced in Canada and everything. Well, faced Edge in Canada, a TLC match, a very good TLC match, by the way, very good. And then somehow, some way, the Canadian fans were actually cheering him the next night on Monday Night Raw. Fancy that. And then it's just been since 06, since that night. It's just been like whatever. It just seems like what city is feeling that night. He gets cheers and then he gets boos. He gets cheers and then boos. I mean, some places he gets a whole ring of cheers, not just the little kids and women, but everybody starts cheering him. Guys too. And then again, there are places that he gets booed, and you can hear the boos over everything else. And I just want to know why. It just seems to me that the reason why, in my opinion, is that just these people who are booing him are just guys who, I'm not saying jealous, but they just really want to get themselves over. Kind of basic, but I think that's it. I mean, John Cena may not, do all the stuff that the American Dragon does, or the stuff that, CM Punk does, or Jeff Hardy does, or what have you. But the guy is talented. And, the guy isn't talented. If he didn't have any talent, he wouldn't have been here. Been on this road for a while, and looking to win his next championship. But, what the main point of this video I'm making is that, I think a lot of you need to, here in the IWC, need to grow up and actually stop booing and start this, this hatred for certain wrestlers type thing. Which, maybe I'll keep doing this type of video, because I feel like this is something that really needs to be talked about by maybe other people in this whole thing, maybe spending a LV5 or whatever, whoever needs to talk this conversation, because I think most of this stuff is the reason why I know wrestlers take wrestling companies or wrestlers themselves take it seriously, because we're so nebulous and so, to the point, like saying, oh, once this certain type wrestler, anything new and different, we get hated on and crashed and booed on and everything. Let's see what time I got left. I got 2 minutes left. I need to get a camcorder. But y'all understand what I'm saying here, right? We have to, as a community, start growing up and actually looking at what wrestlers are, what are not doing, and saying, oh, these things are looking at little things like saying I'm destroying the industry, saying one wrestler is not going to destroy the industry, or wrestling isn't exciting. We have to look at things like, say, I don't know how the wrestlers are being booked, or look how the companies are acting, or look at, say, other problems, not just this one wrestler. If we don't, because I feel like if we don't, they're not going to take us seriously. We're not going to take them seriously, and the whole thing is just going to completely disappear under the rate of, say, UFC or their own type of things. Because this is one of my concerns in this whole wrestling thing on YouTube, is that it seems like there's a lot of people who bash these wrestlers with little or no information about how they got into business, how they know what they're doing. They put up these other wrestlers, like they say, oh, these guys saying everything else are going to save the business. Meanwhile, these guys really are good, and yet they're going to throw away someone who is actually, say, oh, this guy sucks because he's, doesn't do a certain type of move set, or does like this, that, and the other. Hey, back in the day, it wasn't matter how many moves you did, just what the impact of the moves you did. Back in the 70s or 80s, talked about move sets. I think this is a product maybe of the Russo or Attitude Era on the internet. I don't know. It's Duke CT here. Peace and love. See y'all next time.